Hello and welcome. Welcome today. I'm taking a look at something called reverse coloring. This is a reverse coloring book, and this is something that caught my eye as kind of interesting. One of the things that I struggle with is when I travel, I don't really want to bring a whole lot of supplies with me. So the reverse coloring is a little bit of a flip. Instead of going in and having a lot of colors that you have to put on the page and a black and white design, this goes in and gives you various color backgrounds that you sort of doodle over and creatively mark up to be able to make it your own. And so a lot less in the way of supplies needed. You just, pens, and it can be just regular Sharpie pens. Some of the darker items, I think you could, maybe use white pens or silver or something along those lines. So it really does cut down on the amount of supplies that you need, but it's the idea of just sort of guided doodling. You can either finish off a page or something like that. So I thought I'd take a look at this. I've never really worked with reverse coloring books before, but I'm always in the sort of market for something that is an easy crafting project or an easy thing to be able to take along with me when I travel without having to have a whole lot of art supplies. So I get to sort of exercise my creativity without having to lug along a whole bunch of different types of materials and things like that. So this is something that appealed to me. I will tell you right off the bat that the paper quality for this is good. It's not going to be something that I would use like Copic markers or anything like that, like ink pen markers, that type of thing on. But it is nice weight. It's not, I would call it more casual crafting weight than finished artwork weight. It's really meant to, I think, to be more of a doodling book. It's not necessarily high quality paper. It does have a decent weight to it. I like the fact that there's only one design on the page and that the previous, the preceding page is blank, so that you can, sort of do what you want to with it. And I like the variety in this particular book. There's a lot of different types of things. I think you can find a number of different pages that you can go into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a number of pens. I've just got a bunch of different kinds of pens that I'm going to play around with and see what it's like to do a little bit of reverse coloring. I think I'm going to start with this page here. This looks pretty interesting. And like I said, I have some chalk markers. I have a zig pen. I've got brown. And I think I'm just going to start with just a regular Sharpie because, again, the idea of this is to be very low on the supplies needed. So I'm just going to do some sort of decorative things around this. I'm liking this. This is pretty easy. And this is where you can be super creative. I'm not as creative when it comes to the look and feel of certain things, but you can do swirls, it looks like. I mean, this really is about doodling. Let me see how it goes with maybe a permanent. Yeah, that works really well. I mean, so far, I have a couple of different. This is a micro, so this is very, very small. So if I do maybe some swirls. Yeah. I could really see me taking this on a number of different places. Let's try a zig pen. Pretty nice. Let's take a look and see on the previous page. Yeah, so there is a little bit of bleed through. This was the Sharpie marker, so there was a little bit of bleed through on the Sharpie marker, so I would just be careful when you go to do this. There wasn't any on the gold, and the zig pen didn't go through either. So be mindful of the fact that it could bleed through. Again, the paper weight is not huge, is not really super done, but it does give you a little bit. Now, this is a Wink of Stella, which just basically does a little bit of shimmer to it. So you could, if you did have a couple of more art supplies, you could go ahead and do a little bit of shimmer there. And that looks to be pretty good. Again, it's gonna bleed through just a little bit because again, this isn't super heavyweight fabric, or excuse me, super heavyweight, but it is nice. This is the chalk pencil, or the chalk pen. Do some dots. Nice. Let's take a look. That did not bleed through. So overall, I could really see myself using this. I like some of the varieties of this. I like the fact that all of the pens that I've used so far, honestly, the one that was a little bit problematic was the Sharpie, because it did bleed through just a little bit. But the Zig pen worked very well. The micro pen worked very well. The chalk did good. You can't probably see it very easily, but there's the shimmer for the Wink of Stella, and it's looking really great. So I would have to say that this is a great idea, especially if you're on the move or the run, and you want to have a limited art supply but still, you know, express your creativity. So yes, absolutely. I'm going to give this a huge thumbs up. I really think this would be a lot of fun, and I'm going to enjoy doing more of it.